And like Sam said there, thunderstorms could be on the way, and obviously we've got fireworks shows going on, and a lot of dogs can get scared with those loud noises, but there are ways you can manage their reactions and make them feel calmer through all the noise and bright flashes. And joining us live are Bark Busters, they're training experts, Richard and Vicki Horowitz. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, so let's first talk about thunderstorms. Why do dogs get fearful with those loud noises in the beginning?
Okay, well, they can sense the change in the barometric pressure, so they start to get anxious. Right? And as the thunderstorm approaches, you might see them get more anxiety.
By pacing and panting.
Okay.
And so you can usually tell if something's going to be happening at that point. So, you know, a lot of people, what they do is they tend to coddle their dog and give them lots of attention and love and affection, which tends to make them more anxious. So that, and if our owners get anxious, the dogs get anxious. So we want to avoid that by doing things like, if a storm's coming, allowing them to go into a crate or having them have a spot to den themselves.
A coping mechanism.
Right.
Exactly right, exactly. You want to make sure you keep the dog away from the door, so if it bolts out the door, if it happens to open, it doesn't get lost. Keep their tags on and up to date. You can actually set up scenarios using YouTube videos to get your dog desensitized to the thunderstorms.
Right. How would you do that?
So you'd play the YouTube video, you would...
you play the sound of
the
a thunderstorm.
sound of the thunderstorm, so that the dog gets accustomed to it and realizes it's not something to be fearful of. They may not like the thunderstorm, but they don't have to get anxious over it.
Is there any way that you can involve treats at all to try and help with that?
You can, but the more important thing is dogs feed off of their owner's emotions. So if the owners are calm, the dog starts to be calm. And then we also have the issue of dogs who are outside dogs. What do you do about outside dogs? You know, we suggest that you cover their kennels with a blanket, something to make it dull the noises and the bright lights. So
and we're showing video of fireworks because that's something else to be concerned about. Those bright flashes, the big sounds, the big booms. Is there anything that you can do?
We recommend that people not take their dogs to the fireworks.
Right.
Okay, it can be very frightening. Don't leave your dog in the car while you're attending the fireworks. Even if you crack the window a little bit, it's just it gets them more anxious.
Right, I could imagine that loud sound and then being trapped in a car.
And the lights and the flashing lights.
So the suggestion is to if you can be home with your dogs. Sometimes people will put their TVs on. They'll close all their shades and curtains so that the dogs don't see the bright lights. You can play soft music. You can play with your dog and entertain it so that it gets distracted and is not focused on the fireworks. And if you have to go out, then if you can get a pet sitter or someone to stay with your dog, then that's the ideal situation.
That's a great idea. What about those T-shirts you see or those vests?
The thunder shirts.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
You know, we've had some success with those. It depends on the dog and the amount of anxiety.
Right.
It's certainly worth a try. Like I said, we have had success with them. Nice product.
Right.
But
sometimes a thunder shirt isn't even enough to get the edge off for dogs. And sometimes we will recommend our clients go to their veterinarian and discuss medication, because there are medications out there that can relax and calm our dogs down. It's not our first choice of option. An option we use, the thunder shirts in training are better options, but you don't want your dog to be so destructive that it can hurt themselves. And we do have dogs who get so stressed that they can hurt themselves by destroying.
Sick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Some great advice.
Thank you.
Vicki, Richard, and enjoy the fireworks.
Thank
display.
you. We will.
Hopefully the rain will hold off
we
for
hope
them,
so,
right? For more information, you can always head to our website, wtnh.com. Just click on that on-air tab and pull it down to the Good Morning Connecticut Weekend section.